Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Uh, Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Nicholas Viselli. I am the artistic director of Theater Breaking Through Barriers. I am indeed coming to you very, very live and in person, right from the heart of the Thunderdome, right here in Midtown Manhattan. And on behalf of all of us at TBTB, I would like to cordially welcome each and every one of you to our third Hybrid Playmakers Intensive, or HPI3 DRAMAPHEMERA. Oh, it's been quite a while since we last had a chance to connect, either virtually or live. I think the last time we did our second Hybrid Playmakers Intensive, it was the end of January of last year. So now we're talking, what, 16 months? Yeah, something like 16 months. So much has been going on. It's been a very interesting time in not only with TBTB, but I just think in terms of theater and in terms of off-Broadway theater, to be very specific. It's been very challenging. There's still a great recalibration after the pandemic. Of course, there's a lot of other things that are going on with our current times, I don't want to get into political, but certainly there's economic, there's a lot of factors involved in sort of forcing all of off-Broadway to try to find a new way of working and operating. So I would be lying to you if I didn't say that TBTB was not caught up in that as well. This year was a great year for growth for us. We haven't been doing a lot of production work, but our company has been growing. And I'll tell you all about that later. But I'm so excited that we're here to be able to start our third Hybrid Playmakers Intensive. And I'm so proud of our artists this year. We have over 50 artists, and we have created 12 original short plays that we're going to be starting tonight and running through Sunday. Okay. Monday through Saturday, you're going to see one each evening. And then on Sunday, we're going to do 6 of them before a live audience. And we're going to be streaming that live as well. So you'll get 12 shows, all free, all for you, and all from us with all of our hearts. The big question everyone asks is, why? What is DRAMAPHEMERA? What does that mean? Well, I came up with that idea last year. I was writing a grant and I had to figure out what I was going to call this. And I just put those 2 words together and I thought it worked. Well, first of all, I was very much interested in the fact that the ephemeral nature of life and the ephemeral nature of theater, and the fact that we are doing short plays, which are also short, ephemeral. And so I thought, well, put them all together and we are going to get 12 short plays that all have to deal with the ephemeral nature of life in different forms. So without any further ado, we are starting with a bang, okay? I have a really wonderful show that I can't wait to share with you. It was written by one of my favorite playwrights, I have to tell you. I've had the great fortune of knowing and working with Jerrod Bogard since, I think, 2011, 2012, and we've done some really outstanding work together through the years. And so he really created this great play for us. Yeah, it's directed to utter perfection by Ashley Wren Collins and has this stellar cast of Marianne Conk and Rachel Handler. So we'll talk about it on the back end, but I want right now for all of you to please sit back on our opening night, relax, and enjoy Jerrod Bogard's A Moment of the Senator's Time.
Hello, Senator.
Oh, we're being formal.
How are you?
And we're doing pleasantries.
I didn't quite know how to start.
Look, we both have busy lives. Not only am I playing catch up to Cunning's half-dozen super PACs, but the little weasel's lead gets bigger every second I take Zoom calls with a former staffer who's suing me. And you, well, I'm sure you have some campfire sing-along to get back to. Not sure what they get up to in those socialist shindigs, but it must be worth it for you to have jumped ship on a 10-time incumbent with one ass cheek in the speaker's chair. That enough chit-chat for you?
Absolutely.
Sooner we do this, the sooner I can get back to the work of the people. And you can get back to plotting your next mutiny. So, why don't you tell me what this call is all about?
Oh, can I talk now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being abusive?
My attorney says that abusive is the technical language for what happened.
Well, tell it to Fox News, Dina. And tell me while we're here. Every second I put into this is good money after bad.
I think a few minutes of your time is the least you owe me after the work I've done for you, the multiple times I've saved your butt. I didn't mean for it to leak.
Mean for it to leak? It didn't have to leak. Filing a lawsuit is public record, my dear. Or is that not something part of the political science curriculum in your fancy graduate program?
I was angry, and I had a right to be.
That's the line. She's an angry young woman with with a chip on her shoulder and something to prove. But it's unfortunately misplaced anger stemming from some long ignored mental health issues. We unequivocally disavow the hurtful and untrue accusations made by this confused and unwell person. We got that one out in record time, and somehow in the absence of my head legislative staffer.
That was not right.
No? Did that hurt a little? Having a trusted colleague run your name through the mud?
No, it's just a run-on sentence. Sounded like your chat GPT was doing Adderall.
Drug use. Maybe that'll go into the next talking point.
Senator, Cheryl, are you at all curious as to why I left the way I did? You don't see anything wrong with the way I was treated, the way that you treated me?
Stop right there. This is why, when they heard I was taking this call, my lawyers had syncopated angina attacks. Sounded like dogs barking jingle bells. What do you want, Dina?
I want to settle.
Okay, people in hell want an elevator pass, so?
I will settle.
For
an apology. Right here, right now, an apology.
an apology.
For an apology.
An apology.
In the middle of the scene, are you actually correcting my pronunciation while we're in the middle of a scene?
Your enunciation. It sounds like you're saying foreign apology or foreign policy.
Oh, okay, fine. An apology. Can we keep going? We're right up on the end.
I can't tell.
Can't tell what.
You can't tell it's the end coming because it's not building. And it's not building because you're not matching me for the intensity and pace. And you're swallowing your lines.
Jesus Christ, Mom! Did I personally offend you by asking you to be in this play?
Oh, a play. Is that what this is?
Wow. Wow. What is wrong with you? We were fine. You were fine like 20 minutes ago.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just makes me livid when a good actress picks up bad habits. Oh, I have been holding that in all day. But there, I said it. It's past. Let's continue.
Oh, we can continue now?
I said, let's continue.
What bad habits?
It's past. Let's move on.
No, what bad habits?
It's past. I said sorry. Let's move on.
If you tell me, I can fix it.
No, you can't. It's too late.
Bull.
Honey, Rose, You don't fix years of instrument degradation in an afternoon on Skype.
Zoom.
It's all Skype to this old hoofer, sweetheart. Virtual play. How did I ever let myself get talked into this?
Well, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry I'm not the great Sarah, and I'm sorry on behalf of the internet and the 21st century. I'm sorry that art forms shift, and I'm sorry that I wanted to do something fun and creative with my mother.
You don't have to be dramatic.
I'm being.
I never said you had to be Sarah Bernhardt, for God's sakes, as if you could. Well, I mean, if anybody could. I was doing you a professional courtesy, treating you as a professional. Isn't that what you want?
Oh, that was professionalism. I wondered what that was.
Well, everybody needs to hear the truth. And if your fellow actors can't tell you, then whose job is it?
Your mother's, evidently.
I was simply pointing out that your craft has slipped, and it's a tragedy.
A tragedy! Oh, a tragedy! And I'm being dramatic.
Because once upon a time in New Jersey, there was a little girl who showed so much promise.
Please don't.
So much promise that casting directors were
Hiding in the bushes.
Mhm.
I will strive to make you proud with my elocution, my posture, my pace, and my personal hygiene. Will that make you happy? And would that make you read the play?
If you would care enough to do all that, then I'd be connecting you to Jean, and you wouldn't have to be catfishing plays on the internet.
I'm what? What are you even saying?
I will make you a deal.
The deal again?
If you start taking your craft seriously, then I will vouch for you. I'll get you into the rooms. First thing is, you have to start using your real name again. I worked for 5 decades building the respect of our family name. It's not a famous name, but it doesn't have to be famous to be known.
You said it would make you proud if I could build my name on my own.
Well, you are getting to a certain age now, dear, and that path is clearly not for everyone. So the deal is, change the name, start taking your craft seriously again.
I take my craft seriously.
Your resume says differently. And I'd call Jean, or I'd call Terrence at the Playhouse today if I didn't think that you'd march in there and start swallowing your teas.
I don't swallow my teas.
Oh, don't you?
I don't. Ugh!
Support, dear diaphragm, or you'll get polyps. You think this is all fun. I'm being a silly old bitch, but this is what a career on the stage can get you. If you work hard, take it seriously, take yourself seriously.
What does it get you? A raging case of narcissism?
What it gets you is a condo with a view and something to rely on when it's time to rely, because you can't count on the world, right?
Right. Listen, I hear you.
I'm saying all of this, sweetheart, because I care about you. I'm your mother.
So you've said.
Excuse me? What did you say to me?
No, I know. I know you love me. I know you're just.
Oh my God. I lost an entire summer stock season, and I had to start playing big hip nurses because I just gave birth to you. And I'm just willing to put my name and my reputation on the line again. And I just skipped a lot in between there.
Oh, I know you did.
Would you like me to go back?
Aren't you even a little curious?
About what?
About my play. Where it goes, how it ends.
We're talking about your career. Why are you talking about the play?
Because I wrote a fucking play, Mom. I wrote a play. I wrote a play. Did you ever write a play?
Oh, God, no. Have a bunch of amateurs mumbling my lines while I cringe in the background? No. But if I did, I tell you, I wouldn't let them Skype it.
Boom.
Yes, of course, dear. Zoom.
It's a play. I wrote it.
I know, honey. It's really not bad. It's just,
Finally, what's wrong with it?
well,
What?
it is a Zoom play. Is it a movie? No. Is it a TV show? Kind of, but no. Are there even people watching? Nobody knows. Oh, wait. I can hear someone dropping a chat happy face now. What the fuck is this, Rose? It's madness. This isn't a play. It's a fucking nightmare.
Swear to God, if you start talking about Ibsen, I am going.
Ibsen, nobody could write women like Ibsen could write women. When I played Hedda Gabler in 76, I had men booing from the back row and winking at me from the front. Lesbians, too. Oh, yes. Women's lib was huge then, so I took it as a compliment. And at the stage door, now this was in Westport, not Poughkeepsie, one of them threw me her bra. Did I ever tell you this?
Of course.
Well, then you know what you're supposed to ask.
What did you do?
I threw it back in case she needed to burn it. You're not laughing. I've done something wrong.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Well, clearly I have. Look at your face.
No, I've done something wrong.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. Everyone has to try their hand at writing a play sometime. I know I said I hadn't, but you know, maybe I did give it a go once upon a time and I hid it away in a drawer somewhere.
My mistake was thinking that if I wrote a part for you, I don't know, like we'd have fun or, I don't know, you'd appreciate my work for once.
I appreciate your work. I'm here telling you how much potential you have.
It's not me, Mom.
But it could be.
You can't hear yourself?
Why are you casting me as the villain? I'm your biggest fan, Rosie. I know you wrote this play for me. She's a dynamo. She's got my voice. And for what it's worth, I think you nailed it.
Really?
Oh my God, really? Yes, really. It's so fun. It's first draft, obviously, but you know that.
Yeah.
But it's fun to speak. It's very fun. You've got a knack for dialogue.
Yeah?
Absolutely. And it comes from being raised in the theater, exposed to the classics. You were always listening, always paying attention. Other kids weren't allowed in rehearsals. I said, Rosie's special. She's paying attention. And that does something for a child, right? For their development, right?
Right?
Lucky girl.
So, Mom, do you...
Let's do it. Let's do it. Where should we go from?
Okay, what if we go...
How about we go a few beats back from where you got tongue-tied?
Okay.
All right. From What Do You Want, Dina? Okay.
Okay.
What do you want, Dina?
I want to settle.
Okay. People in hell want an elevator pass. So?
I will settle.
For?
For an apology.
Oh, no. I don't think that's going to happen, dear. No.
It doesn't have to be public. I don't want it to be public.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to apologize for caring about you, Dina. Sue me. Oh, wait.
I'm sorry. You care about me? How is berating me into tears at Stanton State dinner caring? How is snide jokes about my wardrobe to the chief of staff caring? How's locking me in a car for 5 hours, that's called kidnapping, caring? How is disparaging and belittling my work at every possible turn caring? You myopic, twisted, narcissistic, bitter old
Go ahead.
relax.
Well, not the B word I expected, but all right. Now, will you listen to me?
Well, you've done nothing but rant at me this whole
All
time.
right, all right, all right. Just listen. Here is what is true. I do care for you very much. I often imagine, I sometimes entertain a fear that if I had had a daughter, this is what would happen. How I've treated you, I would treat her.
You do have a daughter.
I mean, one I like, a daughter I respected.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you're right. I am hard. The world's hard. I'm hard. I am a battle axe. I have to be. You girls today. When I came up, being respected meant being a man, not being like a man. You had to be a man. You had to get in their skins in the boardroom. You had to chop them off at the dick and club them to death with their severed legs. I didn't have any teachers, any mentors. I was hard on you. The reason was I wanted to toughen you up. I was hard on you because I was you. And I see what you could be if you were tougher. Oh, Tina, what you could be.
What I could be?
You're so powerful. You're so smart. Oh, you don't even know.
I do know. You talk about respect, but then you come at me with, you know who I am, as if I don't know who I am. I know who I am. I don't have to wear anyone's skin because my own suits me just fine. Thank you. You respect what you think I could be. Listen to yourself. What I could be is not me. This is me. I am me. Seeing the person in front of you. This is respect. You say you look at me and you see yourself? My God, you must loathe yourself. So you punish me for being like you. Well, with that kind of help, I'm lucky. My God, I'm lucky if I can be anything at all. If I do grow up to do something, though, it's in spite of you, not because of you. So, Cheryl, if I really am like this daughter you like, then I don't think that's what you want to do. To torture me for being like you were. I think you're actually better than that, oddly. And that is why we're talking at all. And that is why I'm willing to settle for an apology. That is, if an apology is something of which you are familiar or even capable.
I am familiar. Capable? We'll see. But you are right.
I know I am. But why would you say that?
Because I listened, Dina, and I heard you, and I respect what you have said.
Well, good.
And I'm not going to apologize.
Of course you're not.
Well, not right now, because I need to think about it.
Really?
Yes, really. Also, we have a fundraising deadline coming up, and your lawsuit is generating more donations than the last two SCOTUS rulings combined.
Oh my God.
I know. It's like the liberal Alamo of the generational culture war.
The Alamo was propaganda.
How appropriate. And you're going to let them ride that not going to do it just another day. And also, I need to do some thinking. You're an impressive person, Dina Malloy, as you are. I was so focused on making you better than me, I didn't see you already are. I hope that they see that at that Disney ride they call a congressional campaign.
I think they do.
All right. That's all the humanity you're going to squeeze out of this old battle axe tonight. Are you satisfied?
No, I didn't get my apology.
Good girl.
Don't call me a girl.
Good girl.
Good night, Senator.
Ah,
Okay, so Dan is going to make our two screens go blank and then like the call-ins. Then Brianna will come on and she'll do like a Q&A thing. Oh my God. Oh, Mom, you are so good in this. Thank you for doing it. So I know you have to get going pretty soon here, but if you have any thoughts, I mean, especially on the ending, I'd love to hear.
hello, Lois. Lois, I'm here. Well, I don't want to rush. Well, then, can you wait? And then I can meet you there? Okay. Oh, great. Thank you. That's fine. What, Rose?
Oh, thoughts?
Oh, I'm late, honey. This ran over. Send me the details.
Oh my goodness. What a great show. What a great way to open this. And what a great way to start a discussion. I have to send in an invite back to Marianne because I had to shut off her screen. So let me just see if I can get her to, there you go. Ask her to start the video again. Everybody, come on. Come on, come on, everyone. Oh, there we go. Jerrod, Ashley, Rachel, and I know Marianne's going to come on as soon as she sees that her screen. All you have to do is hit the video on the bottom of the screen.
Yes, yeah, I am. For some reason, it got disconnected. But
No,
we're
I
connected.
disconnected it. I had to disconnect it because I had to come on.
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys, thank you. Oh, wow. I love this play because of a lot of different reasons. One of the big reasons, of course, is the definition between the fact that you have real life and then you have a Zoom play. And then there's all that discussion of like, what is a Zoom play? And I want to talk about that a little bit, obviously, because we talked about this, I guess, before we even went on the air about this doing theater this way, which we started during the pandemic because we had to, and now we want to. Is this really theater? And I think that we have a lot of varying ideas about that. I know that a lot of theater companies, once the pandemic ended, they just said, okay, good. Now we can go back to live theater and say goodbye to this. And I personally think they're missing an opportunity for obvious reasons, but I'd love to get your thoughts on that. And I need to start with Jerrod. And I will say one of my big reasons for this is Jerrod has worked with TBTB again since 2011. He lived here in New York. Now Jerrod lives out in Denver, Colorado. And how am I going to work with Jerrod when he's living out in Denver, Colorado? Oh, what about via Zoom? You know, Rachel is in New Jersey now. Now I know Rachel comes in and out a lot, but you know, the fact is we're coming in from all over the place. Jerrod, tell me what you think about this.
Well, the first time you asked me to write a Zoom play, I was like, what the fuck is even a Zoom play? So, only by virtue of experiencing it, was I able to play with the format, you know, and go like, well, there are probably stories we could tell in this format that we wouldn't tell on a proscenium, you know, or in the round, like a lot, like in person. And that was just shattered my concept of dramatic writing. It's like, because it's not a movie and it's not a TV show, and I mean, it is a play, but it's a different kind of play. It's a different animal. So for my money, I bet they're here to stay. And I think it's because there are stories to tell in this format that won't be as powerful in another. Yeah.
I'll agree with you. I also want to raise one little thing, because we always, TVTV used to do a short play festival. We're going to start going back to doing them again, hopefully. But I remember at one point you had mentioned to me years ago, and I'm not saying this to put you on the spot, but you were sort of like, you know, let's do away with short play. The short play festival form is kind of dead.
Oh.
You know? And
I started to write a big essay about the short play is dead and the playwrights are dancing on their graves.
yeah. But the short play format works so beautifully on Zoom because no one wants to sit for an hour, 2 hours watching a play on Zoom. It can get a little tedious, I think. But
oh yeah,
I think when we're able to deliver something that's in a nice little package in a very short amount of time, that it works so well on this format. Ashley, as a director who directs like on stage and you know, tell me what you think of working in this format.
Well, I just really love, I think Jerrod works so well with the format, you know, the assignment. I think always as a playwright or a director, it's about like, what are my given circumstances that I have to work with? So he's like, you know, here's this virtual play on Zoom, and he really went all out. And I love how surprising this one is and how many twists and turns it takes. And it was so much fun to explore. Because sometimes people can look at a convention, and in this case, the convention is theater for Zoom, and think that it's limiting. But I think Jerrod really looks at it and he's like, no, there's a lot of possibilities. And I just love that this piece is not what you think it is. It does not go where you expect it to go. And that's great theater.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The twists are great. The fact that it starts with in a scene, and then you find out, like, you know, like 20, like a quarter of the way through it, that it's like, oh wait, this is not the play. This is not what's happening. It's really the story of a mother and daughter, and then it's all about the relationship that's written between the senator, that, you know, and then the mother and the daughter, and how it all reflects. It's really beautifully crafted.
And the lines get sort of blurred, and you're like, wait, you know, which character, what's art imitating reality and life? And I love that. So
yeah, it really is. I thought years ago, it's like the idea of theater, you have to suspend your disbelief. You walk into a theater, you walk in, you know, you're sitting in seats, you're looking at a stage, you see the stage, you see that it looks like a drawing room in Victorian England. Okay, we're doing a play in Victorian England, right? You suspend your disbelief, and hopefully, if everyone's doing the job right, you get drawn into that, and suddenly you forget you're in a theater. You're part of that. Well, if you try to do that same thing here, like a stage play written here, it's like asking the audience to take another step back. And it's like, now you have to suspend your disbelief even further. And it's like, well, that's the problem, because it was written for the stage, not written for Zoom. But when you write it for this format, it just brings us, it's just a refocusing of it. It's like, now you can believe it.
You know, what you just made me think of, is
Hmm.
that maybe Zoom plays are less Zoom plays and they're more site-specific plays.
Maybe that's a good way of looking at it. I mean,
Or,
I think it's
yeah,
true.
like if we do site-specific, right? We go to a hotel room and, you know, like 10 people gather and watch a play in a hotel room or a parking lot, and the play happens in a parking lot, right?
Mhm.
This is Zoom. The play happens in the bedrooms and living rooms and offices of the players. It
Yeah.
happens in cyberspace. I'm going to start thinking of this as site specific.
Yeah, I think it's a great way of looking at it. I really do. And to say that it's not theater, you can if once you start manipulating it and you have a director or someone that's specifically wanting to shift the actors on the screen and show I want you to look this way and you to look that way. Now it's becoming more cinematic. Now you're employing more filmic uh, uh, tools as opposed to the actual stage. So it's kind of interesting. But I need to talk to Marianne and Rachel here, and not only as playing mother and daughter, but I want to know your thoughts about not just this play, but working together, like this whole group. How did this tell me about this experience? And you started, Rachel.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was such a joy. It was such a pleasure to work with this group of folks. From right from the get-go, like the first moment our group was announced, we like huddled in a breakout room, and it was so fun to like talk about what we wanted to play, what Jerrod was working on, Ashley's style of directing. And then a few days later, it was like, boom, here's the script, let's go, you know? So I think we just jived right off the bat. And, you know,
Mhm.
actors, we love character-driven stuff, and this piece is so character-driven. I mean, these women are deeply complex, multi-layered people, and I think you get that so clearly through the Zoom screen. So it really feels like, to me, performing it, it feels like such an amazing live piece of theater, even though I'm just like sitting in my office without my leg on, you know? So it feels like, oh, what a juicy like script to dive into. So we had a blast. I loved it.
It's so great. And we were talking before about how for you guys, for the audience who's watching all of this, I didn't really explain. I sometimes go into detail about how we do this. We started all of this process earlier in April. It used to be a week long, but now because we are doing hybrid and we're working with people in different parts of the country or different parts of the world, we want to allow a little extra time because now we're dealing with time zones and availability. But we gather everybody together and randomly, literally, I put names in hats and draw like, all right, this is going to be Jerrod's play. And I'm going to draw a name out of this hat. And oh, Ashley's going to direct this one. And the actors are going to be Marianne and Rachel. And that's how it's done. Like there's no, like, we don't sit here and say, oh, you know, that would be great. But it just came together. And the fact that you guys played mother and daughter and you did such a incredible, it just worked so well. You know, and it seemed very natural for you to be a mother and daughter. Marianne, what was this like for you? Tell me what this was like.
Oh, well, as Rachel said, we gelled right from the beginning, from that very first breakout room. It was just, and I walked away that night and said, this is going to be fun. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
And on the other side of it, it's a wonderful thing for actors to get cast in something you're right for, but to have something written for you is, wow, what a treat that is. And so that was just an absolute joy as well. And then trying to give it, I mean, it's so meaty, Jerrod. There's just so much going on with this. And every time Rachel and Ashley and I rehearsed, more stuff just kept coming out. It just did now. I found more stuff than I had found in the previous rehearsals. As far as doing Zoom, actors love to learn new techniques. I mean, I do voiceovers. This reminds me a bit of film because I do have to be conscious of my frame. So where am I? So it has a touch of film in it. But it's a whole new technique. It's a whole new thing to master, which I felt I was getting the hang of during COVID. And then when things sort of filtered back into live, it's like, oh, I'm not going to get to practice this some more, get to do this more. But thankfully last year, you invited me, and this year, and let's do more Zoom stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love doing the work on Zoom for so many reasons. One of which is it allows us to connect. And we've done work. I mean, during the pandemic, we actually had shows where we had one actor in North Carolina, one actor out in California, one actor in South Korea, one actor in Israel, and we had to coordinate all these different time zones so that everyone could meet in one spot at one time to do one show. And you're like, to say we're breaking the time-space continuum here by being able to create theater in all parts of the world at the same time. So that's kind of mind-blowing. It allows a lot of artists, especially artists and performers with disabilities, two things. One, if an artist has a difficulty leaving their home for or getting back and forth to rehearsals, you do it from your home. That makes it really great. It makes it really simple. From the terms of disability, I mean, for our company, I'm sorry I'm talking here, but I just want to sort of get this out. The fact that we want our artists to be seen as artists, not as a person with a disability. I mean, a disabled artist, I completely understand and embrace disabled culture. I think it's very important, but I think most artists who are disabled that I know want to be recognized as an artist, not as, they don't want to be seen as a wheelchair or as a prosthetic or as a this or a that. They want to be seen as an artist first and foremost. So in this situation, you can't really tell who's disabled and who's not. And it's not hiding it. It's just, you see an artist. And that to me is kind of cool. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh, I love that. My friend Santina did a whole like documentary on how, on Zoom, like no one can see she's in a wheelchair and how people interact differently with her in Zoom than in real life because of that. And like, for me, getting to do this on Zoom was amazing because I'm dealing with some issues with my leg and I can't wear my prosthesis as long as I usually do. So like getting in and out of the city, like my train station is not accessible. The way that I normally get to the Times Square area is not accessible. So I was like, oh, it would be like mentally draining for me to get into the city with my situation right now. So Zoom is like freedom to me in a way, It's like, okay, I can't get to the city to see a show on Broadway, but I can do a Zoom play, or like my friend has a whole theater company that does online work now. And it's so amazing to see because it's accessible for most people. Captions are available, so it's really, I think it's like a wonderful thing and I never want it to go away because it really opens the world for a lot of us.
Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. I agree. That's why we went to a hybrid format. I think I love doing plays live, but I love doing this. So it's like theater should, to me, always be yes and. It should always be never shut down anything. Like open, the wider your lens, the more opportunity that you get to pick and choose. You have to make decisions and narrow things down if you want to make a point in a play or whatever. But you want to have everything to choose from. And if you don't, if you really limit it down and say, I'm only going to start with this, well, then you can create something wonderful, but it's going to be very, very specific, I think.
Yeah.
Jerrod, I know you had mentioned before, just the idea of what is a Zoom play and recalibrating and then realizing the possibilities in that. You realize that this is it's a wonderful wonderful blank canvas that you can do a lot with.
I've seen people do amazing things with this, that here we we're clearly just we're on a Zoom call, and we're playing with the different things that you do on a Zoom call, and you know, playing a little trick with the audience, I hope. But yeah, I've seen people do like poems that are spatially like speaking to one another in boxes and things. Like it's a lovely tool to use theatrically and cinematic. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the plays in the festival.
Oh my God, thank you. Yeah, I think for us, and also just to be clear to the audience, we consider this a workshop, okay? The plays that you are Jerrod's play and the plays that you will be seeing for the rest of this week were just created like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. Like they're still in a development phase. Some are a little more developed than others, but that's the way it is with everything. But we wanted to be able to do them in a way that it's not fully staged, that it gives the opportunity for the writers to hear their work. It gives the opportunity for you to sort of see how we create. People always like to ask us as a company that integrates disabled and non-disabled artists, how do you work together? And I think the answer to that is, well, to put it simply, just like any other theater company, there's no difference. There is no difference.
Brilliantly.
You know, the
Yeah.
answer is we all come together. We all bring our own stuff to the table, and we create.
Create is the word. That's the
Yeah.
word. That's why I love this, the workshop feel of it and the collaborating. Yes, this is the opening night of the festival, but this isn't the opening night of this play. This is first dress rehearsal,
Yeah.
you know, and we're still finding it. We're still, you know, this is my favorite part. Rehearsing and workshopping is like my favorite part. I'd be happy if we never opened. Seriously. Really, this is the good stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
it's wonderful. It's
You try
wonderful.
instincts, you try, oh, did that work? Did that not work? And just, you know, heaven.
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah, this is the way it's always been. I remember one of the first plays you wrote, Jerrod, which was a wonderful play. It went on, it was published, beautiful play, Supernova and Reseda, still one of my favorites. And I remember when we did the play, when we actually performed the play, Jerrod didn't actually have the ending of it. We ended it, it ended, but it was only like a year later that he said, I finally found the ending for that play. And it was just a couple extra lines, not much, but it buttoned it perfectly. And it wasn't like it was a bad show initially, like we didn't feel like we were hanging. It had an ending, but what he added to it made it perfect. So, you know, so the work continues.
Yeah. Yeah. My mother was a painter by hobby. She only signed one thing. She never signed anything. And I always used to ask her why. And she said, because it's always in progress.
Yeah.
If I sign it, it's done. And I loved that. And
Mhm.
I took that, I've taken that actually as a metaphor for life. It's all work in progress.
Yeah, I agree. I
Mhm.
agree. To quote the line from Ben-Hur, the race goes on, Judah. So there we are. Tucker, our tech guru, Tucker, what do you think? What do you have to say for our opening night?
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really wonderful. And you guys work so well together. And yeah, I couldn't have chosen a better group if I tried. It's fate brought you all together, which makes me very happy. And look at what you came up with. So thank you. Thank you all. The best part is we get to do it again in 10 minutes. So so I'm just going to wrap this up right now, and I'm going to ask you all, if you really loved what you saw, join us in 10 minutes. We're going to be doing this all over again. Another live show, not canned. Not we're going to take this show and put it on to a different, we get a second crack at this, and it's going to be on at 8:30 on our Facebook page. So we hope that you'll stay tuned and watch. Go to our website, go to tvtv.org. You can see what we're up to. You can always access our links to YouTube and Facebook every night this week, and also up until Sunday when we do our live show. You'll also be able to see what we've been up to and how we're growing and how things are really changing in a good way for us. And if you really love us, you can donate to us if you like. You don't have to, but it's always lovely. If you go to our tvtv.org page, just click on the little button on the top that says donate, and we take that like that's a commitment. That's sort of a covenant. Okay, you don't just donate money as a charitable donation, although we are 501c3, but more importantly, you become a partner in our art. And that means that we value very much what you think, and hopefully you'll continue to grow with us and tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, and we'll continue to work together. So we hope that you'll do that. Now, tomorrow, right here at 7:30 on YouTube, we are going to premiere another brand new show. I will say I'm really excited about tomorrow night's show because our playwright also happens to be very close to me, happens to be not only a wonderful actor, but happens to be my wife. Her name is Anne-Marie Morelli, and she has got a wonderful play called Have I Got News for You? So we're going to be doing that tomorrow night at 7:30, directed by the incredible Grant Neal. This is Grant's first time working with us too. A lot of first timers this go around. Estrella Tamez is acting in it. Stephen Drabicki, Ben Rausch. Yeah, we've got a great cast for a great show. So 7:30 tomorrow night, right here on YouTube. Have I Got News for You by Anne-Marie Morelli. So we hope you'll join us then. In the meantime, everyone, thank you for making our opening night so special. We hope that you'll come back again all week. We'll be here all week. Try the veal. And thank you for getting to for being a part of this wonderful experience. Have a great evening, and see you in a few minutes, hopefully on Facebook. Good night, all. All right, everyone, and we are clear. Yay! So listen, if you would like to take a 3-minute break, little restroom break or something, get a drink of water, go ahead. We will pick up at 8:30 on Facebook.
Okay. And we'll just listen to you. We'll know when to turn our cameras back on, right? Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye for now.